Today is an important day because for the very first time in the Tudor era, the doors of La Continassa will be open for a training session that can be seen by a part of the supporters and part of journalists. But I have one wish, one hope, is that this afternoon I can come back here reporting you that we trained on set pieces. We know it has been and it is our biggest weakness of 24-25, but especially for the Monday night game it will be crucial that we fix it. Because Parma, in percentage of the goals that they are scoring, well, they are the biggest one in Serie A, scoring from set pieces, especially from corner kicks. So if we want to go through in Parma, if we want to come back with the 3 points, it's extremely important to fix it. But that's not what I want to speak about in today's video. Today I want to go towards the post-Arek Milik. We spoke a lot about the first striker, and I always told you that at today I'm not 100% convinced on one name. But if you are speaking about the rotational player, the player that is sitting on the bench, that is ready when called up to enter, to score that goal at the 95th minute, well, there are some names that are quite attractive. Before listening to them, before telling you, please let me know who is your ideal second striker, and don't tell me the player of 100 million euro that is earning 10 million euro, because that's not even possible as a first striker. So be realistic, let me know, I'm really curious to read you, and meanwhile, when you're writing, please put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe because we start. Ciao Juventini of the world. My name is Giuseppe. Welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. It's Venerdì Santo, super important day for Christians. So to all the people that are celebrating, I hope the best for you. Now we give you an update about the video that we made yesterday about the sponsor. An entire video or nearly about the sponsor where we reveal you the strategy. Juventus being close to come back to Jeep. Juventus didn't confirm, but there is one thing that Juve did yesterday was an open, official, public communication. Obliged to, because we are part of that stock market, so we are obliged to communicate when these voices, the rumors, are persistent, when they are strong, when everyone is speaking about it in Italy, also internationally, and that's what Juventus did yesterday. Did they confirm? Jeep, no, they didn't confirm, but they told us that they confirmed that indeed there are advanced talks with a big player, with a big name, without mentioning Jeep, of course, you cannot. But also they tell us, pay attention, we can confirm you that we are negotiating, that we are talking, that we are really advanced, but there is not a done deal yet. They are obliged, with that stock market, otherwise you are influencing, so you're obliged to say that. But there is an extremely important thing that I read in that official communication is that indeed, we are negotiating, we are working on the voices that can influence positively or have an impact on the finances of season 25-26, 26-27. Why is this extremely important? You remember yesterday in the video, I told you about the strategy of a multiple-year contract, but forget about 10 years. I told you about the marketing plan of new series of Jeep that would go out. Again, thank you to Colpo Gobbo that inspired me and was able to share that information. I was able to share it with you. I told you a few cars are in line to be told, to be shared. Well, these cars have a plan, 25-26, 26-27. I told you 4 models of cars, and this is partially what Juventus is telling us in that open communication, influencing the financial plan of 25-26, 26-27. Now you tell me, Beppe, how many money? Because this is something that you told us yesterday. When you have a bit more info, you will share with us. Well, Cristiano Corbo from Il Bianconero was able to find that information, and he's telling us 50 million for 2 years of sponsorship. That's 25 per season. You will tell me, Beppe, what a disaster. But I already told you yesterday. I anticipate you. I told you, calma. Don't be disappointed when you will hear the numbers. It's not anymore the first partnership with a Cristiano Ronaldo. Juventus was able to play 2 finals of Champions League. Juventus that was winning 1 Scudetto after the other. It's a different time. I will give you an example. Inter, that is winning probably the Scudetto or won the last one, that is in the final of not yet. That is in the semi-final of Champions League. Well, Inter is earning from their main sponsor 30 million euro. So Juventus going close to that, being at 25 million euro per season, is still an important sum. Can we increase? Well, it will depend on the sporting result of what Juventus will be able to do on national and international field. And that's the update that I wanted to give you on the main sponsor. Also there, please let me know what you think about it. Today it's match day, not for the first team men, but for the first team women, and it's an extremely important game because Juventus women will play against Milan at 5:30 p.m. Italian time. I'm thinking maybe, if possible, to do a watch along, but I cannot promise you, depending a bit what my family are planning for me today, because it's an important day. But Juventus against Milan, super important. If we win, we have the Scudetto. Would be the 6th one in 8 years. I know that here a big part, if not nearly entirely, the community is looking only about the first team men, but it's super important as a club to continue to win with continuity. And if I'm not wrong, and I don't think I'm wrong, we are continuing to win since 2011, at least one trophy per season as a club Juve. First team men, first team women, also the under 23 next gen were able to win a trophy in a year of difficulty. So it's super important as a club to continue to win, to put new trophies in the beautiful museum that we have in Torino. So super important today. I hope we can win. If we do it, a watch along, I will tell you, put a notification ring on. Today is the birthday of an important man. The one that signed that one. You cannot see it. Anyway, I will show you one day if you are live together with me. We speak about Szczesny. Szczesny is celebrating today. He's born in 1990, so he's 35 years old, a player that was about, or no, actually, he retired and then came back to the call of Barcelona. Maybe it was destiny. Maybe it was the destiny that the ex-number 1 of the Bianconeri went to the Blaugrana to actually stop one team, and it's Inter, because, you know, the semi-final will be Barça-Inter, Inter-Barça, and Szczesny is the one that needs to help the Juventini, because it's a disaster if Inter goes through, if Inter wins the Champions League. Mamma mia. I don't want to think about it. I really don't want to think about it. So happy birthday, Szczesny, and I hope that you go into the final. I even hope that you win the Champions League. If this is the price that I have to pay for Inter to be eliminated, I do it. Anyway, let's go to the main topic of today. Casting post Arkadiusz Milik. Yesterday, Milik, he posted on Instagram a few pictures of him being in La Continassa in the training center, writing, "It's been a tough road. I'm getting stronger every day. Thank you for your support." Look, I'm always happy when players are getting better. Now, Milik, it has been one of the biggest mistakes of Giuntoli in trusting that he would come back October, November, counting on him as the backup striker for Dusan Vlahovic. We didn't see Milik at all, and probably will not see him until the end of this season. Can we take Milik with us in USA to play there? It is possible. I don't know if it's really possible or not. It could be. Looks like he's getting better. Then we know it. Every time that we said he's getting better, looks like next month he could reintegrate the team. He had a new injury, so I wish that he's not getting injured. Also because the player has 1 year of extra contract with Juve. If we want to sell the player, if we want to stop the contract with the player, we are obliged to have him fit. Otherwise, it will be another year of him in La Continassa or going back to Poland to train there individually. So pay attention to that. Hopefully he's getting better, but he will absolutely not be in the 25-26 team. And that's why Juventus is thinking about a casting with a few names that we already touched about. Lucca, Lorenzo Lucca, that I know a lot of supporters of Juve are looking like he's a really great striker. We want him in our team. I always told you, beautiful, good player. Potential, really good player, but I don't see him as a first striker. Now, the requests of Udinese are quite high. They are speaking about at least 30 million euro. Would you invest 30 million euro for Lorenzo Lucca? Personally, I have my doubts about it, but it's a name that Juventus is indeed monitoring as a second striker of Juve. The other name that Juventus is looking for, and we spoke about it yesterday, I believe, is the name of Kristovic. Kristovic from Montenegro, from Lecce, that is doing a beautiful season. If you are looking at the goals that he scored in comparison with the goals scored by Lecce, is really high. I think he's at 50% goal contribution of this season. So really crazy the season of Kristovic, that is a target of Juve to sit on the bench. One of my favorite names to be there because, guys, it's really good. It's really good. Has the possibility to go shot from every single point on the field. We are missing a lot these goals from the distance, from outside of the box. So he's a player that is brave, has a lot of courage, is not scared at all. When he sees that possibility, that open width, and boom, he goes. A physical player. When we are speaking about Lorenzo Lucca, when we are speaking about Kristovic, we are speaking about two players that have that Bobovieri physique. I'm not saying the same skills, the same qualities, but the physique a la Bobovieri. Massive, huge, big, I like these kind of players as second striker. In my mind, it has always been, like a player like that is there on the bench ready to enter. We had some big players like that. Thinking about Padovano, Vieri, who was it? The other players, Boksic. Do you remember Boksic? So we had a few players like that. So I would not be against a type of player like that. Now, 25 million euro for Kristovic is what Lecce would ask. 30 million at least is what Udinese would ask for Lucca. So Juventus is also looking for other names, and we have a big name today on the papers. Is the one of Agostino Modica. You will tell me who on earth is Agostino Modica, Pepe? Well, it's a player that is actually playing at Rosario Central in Argentina. He's born in Italy, he has the double citizenship, so it would be no problem to have an extracomunitario, non-EU player for Juve, because he has double citizenship, Italy and Argentina. The player is already 22, a value on transfer market of 1.5, and then looking a bit about his stats to report you actually what he was doing and how well he was doing, why Juventus was really interested for that player. I saw that he was playing 0 games this season with Rosario Central. I said, why? Why is he not playing? Why is Juventus interested in a 22 years old, so it's not a 16 years old, a 22 years old player that is not playing? Why? Because he comes from a huge, big injury. ACL, total disaster. He's now coming back. He's nearly fit to come back to Rosario Central to play his first minutes of the season 24-25. But he's a player that didn't play. Then, looking at how he got injured, because I was really interested in, I'm not 100% sure if that's the player that we need to go for. Because looking at the injury, I think it was really a jinx, really bad luck. Boxing against the advertising boards on the side of the field behind the goal. He went there, boom. It's not even a contact it's not even contact with another player. It's not that he put his foot bad. No, he went boxed, contrast against the billboards, and he was injured for the entire season. What a disaster. So if we need to really look for a second striker, we come back from a Milik that played 0 minutes, going for a player that was that bad luck, that unlucky. I'm not sure. Think about it twice, even if it's a player that has a beautiful prospect, has some potential. I would think personally twice about that name. There is another name that Juventus is looking for, and it's the one of Ipswich, ex-Manchester City youth player. We're speaking about Liam Delap. Delap. English player. Actually, a few nationality there, because I think he's also from Ireland. It's a player that has played a lot. 31 games in Premier League this season, 12 goals. Beautiful season for a player that is playing in a team that will be relegated, Ipswich. Now, looking at transfer market, 35 million euro is the value of the player that has been bought last season from Manchester City already for nearly 80 million euro. A player that the value last year was 8 million on transfer market. Ipswich, when paying more than twice the amount of price that they were actually in terms of value, they won for that player. He did a beautiful season, yes. On the other side, is he a player that I think that Juventus need to go for 35 million euro. It's a lot of money, It's a lot of money, It's really a lot of money. But Liam Delap is a player on the list of Juve. And these are the 4 names that are circulated on top of the one that has not been mentioned yet by the papers, but I told you is the one of Pinamonti. Pay attention, Now, we go with Parma Juve, where more and more it's clear that it will be difficult for Yildiz to be there, to be present, because yesterday he was again suffering. Not sure that today he will be able to take part of the training session with the team. We will know more in this afternoon, but looks like he will be out for the game. Vega and Perin are back, and that's a good news. We are waiting for Koopmeiners and McKennie that are not at 100%, and also for Bangula. So pay attention who could play. Potentially we already made the lineups yesterday, but there is a possible chance for one of the 2 players, or Colomani or Renato Vega, with Corriere dello Sport that is telling us, pay attention, because Conceição, we are close to the goodbye. So more and more we are going towards Conceição out of Juve, not renewing. And I know that this will also be a huge, big debate, so I'm curious to read your opinions. One that will be on the field, surely. We are still hesitant about the position. It is Nico Gonzalez. Nico Cose Turche. Nico, Turkish things. Why? Because he could potentially play in the role of Kenan Yildiz with him missing. Nico Gonzalez is a player that is doing extremely well this season. I want to come back with more details later today or tomorrow, preparing the game of Parma. but Nico Gonzalez, with the healthy cure of Tudor, is doing well, is a man that we can count on. He goes back to become speedy Gonzalez. The only thing that we are missing from him, and that Tudor is also requesting him, especially if he's playing in a more advanced role, is that goal. Because without Kenan, someone needs to score it. If you enjoyed that video, please put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Grazie, forza, Juve.